Hey guys, I am now back in Croatia to the lovely summer weather. And let's just sort some shade out for this episode. There we go, we are now in the shade. Okay guys, yeah, I'm back. Had a wonderful time in Latvia and enjoyed all the summer activities that there is around there. Excuse me about the stuff that's around my garden. We've put the kids' pool up and a smaller pool for the kids so they can enjoy out here, because we don't have a swimming pool or anything like that, and I don't really have any plans for a swimming pool because of just, you know, the costs, and I don't really see that much of an appeal of jumping into a chlorinated pool every day. So I'd much rather just have some of these smaller pools with clean water all the time that we can just keep refilling every day. And yeah, then you've got obviously the sea, which is nearest one's around 15 minutes drive away. So for this, it's fine for chilling outside. We've done a bit of like just gardening. Everything is so dry. Let me show you. So if I just show you my garden there, you can see the state of the grass is burnt out to the max. All our sort of vegetables in the vegetable patch over there, they are all burnt out also. See, all dried out. The neighbour said she has watered them, but apparently the heat was just too much. So yeah, I mean, we've got various different things that we've planted around. I believe my knowledge on these plants aren't the best, so you just have to bear with me. But we've got a few oleandro plants at the end here that are growing. We've got a few trees here. So I believe one is lemon, one is orange or mandarin. And then we have various cherry trees. We also have this tree that kind of planted itself out here. And it's come from this tree over here. And it's just grown this much over the year, which is quite a lot. So, but I don't know if it's too close to the house, and obviously too close to this little cherry tree over here. So, not sure what to do. I think, speaking to the neighbour, all these trees are kind of a bit too close to each other. But there you go, it's fine. I forgot to tell you, there is an update in the village, which I haven't told you about. Yeah, as you know, we have been struggling with our water situation for, you know, now we've had the house since February 22. So that's just over like 2 years that we've had the house now. And obviously I've had a struggle to get the water. I was then told that I was not going to get the water. It wasn't going to happen because they need enough investment. Well, it looks like Benkovat's got the investment. Happy days. So we have basically the water is coming. So they started at the very other end of the village over there, and they've dug a massive, you know, trench from over there. They've hooked everyone up with water here, and then it's come down across here. I've got a hydrant here, which is great if anything happens, and they're digging this way. So we haven't yet been hooked up because it's now tourist season and they don't want to be interrupting the other houses which have water, which have tourists in them, so they can't be digging the floor and all that kind of stuff. But here's the line where my water is going to come. It's going to come across here and up until this P point here, which they've got to be careful because they've got an electric cable that's just there, so hopefully they don't dig through that. But if you haven't noticed as well, we've actually painted the house. So it was all grey before, but now look at it, it looks beautiful. All the wood on the top has been, you know, painted a darker colour, protective varnish on there. We've got like this lighter brown feature across the window. Don't know if you can see properly, but yeah, dark brown feature with this sort of off-white, and it's looking pretty damn good. Hold on, let me zoom out a little bit. So yeah, it's made a huge, massive difference on the house with both houses painted. So yeah, when it comes to hooking yourself up with water, I believe it costs like 500 euros for the connection. So once it happens, once they get to the point where they put the water meter in for me, I mean, when they put the pipe in for me, just to hook it up with a water meter and stuff like that, it will cost 500 euros, which I'm happy to pay to get water, obviously. They started digging this, when did they start digging this? At the start of the year, I think. So it's been about 8-ish months and they still haven't completed it. I believe they could have done it a lot faster, but they kept jumping from project to project. I think they had some projects in Nîmes and stuff like that, so it's been delayed, but I'm so happy that we're getting water. I was thinking, because the European Union has to give water to properties, you know, buying a house without water or electrics like we had, you know, your value of your house, your property goes up massively if you can hook yourself up with those utilities. Because I imagine the house that I bought without those utilities was at least 50k potentially cheaper than it would have been if it did have utilities, you know, because that puts people off, right? Because it's a long-term wait. It took 8 months for electricity for me, and it's took like 2.5 years so far for water. But the other neighbours, they've waited, obviously, their entire lives for water. So yeah, thankfully the mayor's sorted us out, which is great. So also the stairway we've got here is all painted in this brown, which then gives a lovely look. Let me flip the camera around again. But it gives a beautiful look to the house. Still need to step back a bit. Yeah, as you can see, it makes a beautiful, you know, separation to the colour of the house. That was all sort of blue before, then painted white when we saw the facade on the house, which I never really spoke about. But yeah, that's the finished touch on the facade of the house. I was going to film about that, but you know, at that point in time, I wasn't having the best experience with the builders that were doing it, so I didn't really want to post about it. These houses are looking, if I say so myself, they are looking very, very nice. So this is one way to insult a Croatian person. Have a barbecue on a gas grill. Now this is a trusty grill. Actually, my father-in-law got it for us, hooked up with gas. And when I saw it, I thought, God, you're telling me that I'm going to use that in Croatia? Everyone's going to look at me like, oh my God, what's he doing? You know, you can't have a barbecue on a gas grill. You've got to have it with the authentic wood, you know, giving it that smell. And you know, it's all part of the process. I love that as well, you know, building the fire, putting the barbecue on. Oh, but you know, actually, now that I'm using this thing, because I do not like cooking inside, I like cooking outside, it actually makes things super easy because you can just light it up and just cook. So, you know, for special occasions, I'll light my own fire. I have this fire pit over here. Yeah, so I have this fire pit over here, which I'll climb over to show you. So here we go. I bought this from Bauhaus. It's also great, you know, for a fire pit in those colder nights where you can just sit by it with your friends and just have some beers and enjoy. I just barbecue there. We'll probably create a designated outside barbecue. I don't know what they're called in Croatian. You know, those big sort of barbecue houses. I can't think of the name now. But I have one in my corner bar, but the problem is that it, the smoke enters the room because the chimney is placed in the wrong place. So yeah, my wife said that's out of bounds. I can't use that inside. So yeah, we'd have to build one outside, maybe by this stone table over here, maybe by that stone table over there. And yeah, this little gizmo is my Starlink. So that's internet basically. So before I was using, what was I using? Hrvatski Telekom for my internet, but it was so slow, and obviously I do YouTube, so it just really wasn't ideal. I was getting 12 megabits per second. Now with Starlink, I'm getting 200, so that's like 20x the speed. Granted, the upload speed isn't the best, but I mean, for what I use it for, it's fine. Before with the internet, it was super slow and the YouTube videos were taking ages and you couldn't use more than one device and all that kind of thing. So Starlink is a great solution for being out in the village because it just means you can get on with your stuff. We have a bit of a slight problem here that we've noticed. It's that here we've got the air conditioning running, but basically the builder was supposed to put the tubes out like he has over here for the separate air conditioning units, but this one he's just buried in the wall so we can't get to it. So we'll just have to maybe dig, you know, it's a bit annoying. And over here we had kind of numerous problems with the air conditioning units, like losing of gas and stuff. And yeah, one of the cables had been damaged as well, which was unfortunate. So we had to run all the units off one cable, which is not ideal at all because if you run too many, the fuse trips. So it's a bit of a nightmare there. We did have issues with one of the builder's workers. Didn't really like who I was, so he thought it would be a good idea to, you know, damage some stuff behind the polystyrene that he put on the wall, because you put like styropor panels on, so you know he cuts through something and then the electric cable, and then just placed it over the top, so no one would know. And he did that with the drainage as well. The other builder sorted that out. So yeah, not so ideal, but it is what it is. It's ended up being a decent finish anyway, so I'm kind of happy with it. But it was a very stressful 3 months that it took to get this facade done. Granted, we picked the worst weather to do it in. We started in December because of the weather, and the Bura here, you know, the weather was not great. So he really struggled with that, but at the same time, you know, after a week or so, he was already saying, "Oh, I wish I never took on this job. It's not enough money, blah, blah, blah," you know, as they all say. And it's like, well, that's not my problem. You shouldn't have accepted it if you didn't want it. Like, you could easily give me the money back and I can find someone else, but you know, that's not what they want. And the issue is that it was kind of very aggressive as well when you have a problem. So they were leaving like trash everywhere. On the floor was a mess, and obviously the wife isn't too happy about that. And I kind of raised the thing why he's leaving cement on the floor. And he's just like, "Oh, well, we'll scrape it off at the end, you know." What, 3 months later? And leaving like loads of rubbish and debris on my, yeah, it was just a nightmare. Spilling concrete everywhere on the ground and on the grass and damaging it all. And, you know, just had to take months and months of repairing everything that they'd messed up. And we had to clean up all the stuff in the end because I wasn't waiting 3 months for it to all be sorted. So had to go around pressure washing and picking up all the rubbish. Anyway, as you can see, like this house here was pretty much bare like this other one, but they've started building on that as well. They've started renovating the whole inside. So they're working on renovating. There's people all over the village renovating their houses now. And I don't know whether it's just because I've come back, like I've come and lived here, and they think, "Oh, why is an English person like moved here? There must be something." But it seems that everyone in the village is now working on their houses, which is amazing because it's beneficial for everyone, because visually it's better for everyone. 2, it obviously boosts the investment of everyone's house, because if the area is nice, everyone's value of their houses go up. And yeah, it's obviously nice that people are kind of moving back. and we're kind of having that little bit of community, you know, which is amazing. I really love my village. I really love my neighbours. Well, anyway, it was nice talking to you guys. This is just a quick update on, you know, being back in Croatia and just having a bit of a catch up and giving you a little bit of a tour around the outside of my house. If you can as well, sign up to my free newsletter. Helps me massively. I will be like sharing, you know, business opportunities in Croatia, real estate and investment opportunities in Croatia, and just my lifestyle. You know, some things that I come across and want to talk about, I'll be writing them on my newsletter as well. So if those things would give you value, then please, you know, for free, sign up to my newsletter. It doesn't cost you a penny. So yeah, the link is below in the description. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And yeah, we'll see you on the next episode, guys. Take care.